Alright, I'm out of the Great Salt Lake, which is a very salty environment with the Deus 2 to see how it's going to do in this environment. I've already got a approximately 9-inch nickel buried right there, and the only thing I've got to go off of is my pinpointer, so I'm basing it on that. But there's water in the bottom of the holes. So what I'm going to do is do a 10-inch. Already got a 9 and it'll hit it. So I'm going to do a 10 and an 11 or 12 and see what we got. So pinpointer there is about an inch below the surface, and then here it's quite a bit lower. So I'm thinking that's probably going to be 11 or 12 right there. So we'll get these buried up and then see how it does. But I'm going to put a link to a reference to a video I did a number of years ago in the description here, where I tested the Equinox and a Garrett Infinium pulse machine out here, and they only got, if I remember right, the Infinium was barely hitting the 10-inch nickel, and Equinox would not hit it. It would hit the 8, but not the 10. And so in my experience, the Equinox gives out at about 9 inches out here. I actually use a pulse induction machine anymore for anything out here, and I'll dig stuff down to 14, 16 inches, rings, nickels, stuff like that. But gonna see how the Deus does, and might start using it out here. So be back in just a minute. Alright, so got the Deus 2 ready to go here. Gonna turn the volume all the way up. We're gonna do beach first, disc at 8, sensitivity we're gonna run up 98, salt sensitivity we're gonna leave at 9, frequency shift, reactivity I'm gonna do 1.5 because I just don't really like the way the signals are sounding with a lower reactivity. We'll leave the silencer wherever it is, and ground balance real quick here. I have to turn that salt sensitivity down, but we'll see what happens here. Pretty stable. So there's the 9-inch. Here's the approximately 10. And bringing up some IDs. Here's 12. Getting that as well. No ID a lot of the time, but I mean, out here I would dig it. There we go. ID in the 60s, 50s, 60s. So let's try beach sensitive and see what that does. Go into the menu here, and we're gonna run the sensitivity down just a little. Salt sensitivity, we'll leave it 9. I think on stock it's lower than that, but I've been messing with it. So, and volume, reactivity, we're gonna move that up. Audio response 5, and we'll ground balance it just to make sure. Might have to see how. Yeah, probably gonna have to move that salt sensitivity down a couple of points back to where I think it normally runs. Okay, see how it does on these 9-inch nickel. Ten-inch. Pretty impressive. And running stable too. Well, yeah, running stable. Probably a target there. So I'll hunt around here. I don't know what I'm going to find. I'll go down to the water too and see how this thing runs with the coil submerged. I mean, I run a Pulse induction machine around here a lot, so I don't know that there's going to be really anything in reach for this, but we'll try it, and I'll come back if I get anything, and we'll go down to the water and test it too. So be back in a little bit here. All right, I've got a signal here. Coming up in the 60s, 70s. Could be a bullet. See a lot of those out here, but dig it up and see what we got. Kind of hard to do one-handed, so let me end up putting this down if this gets too deep. Foam down and okay, so it's out. It's most likely going to be a bullet. They're fairly shallow around here. Yeah, little piece of 22 lead. All right, I've got something a little deeper here. I'll get the speaker on so you can hear it. I've got probably 9 inches of sand taken out, and I'm still getting a signal in the 60s. So take out another shovel full here, and we're getting right down into that sand where most of the targets sit around here. You get through all this yellow sand and into that white. And okay, so it's in the pile there now. There it is right there. And looks like it's a nickel. Or, I don't know. That's might be a newer coin. Usually not a lot of fresh drops around here, but that's looks like a foreign coin of some sort. I don't find many of those here. I don't think it's silver. I think it was nickel. I'll have to look at that later, but it might be a token too of some sort. So there's a big W in the middle. I'll have to look at that later, but anyway, not bad. Alright, so right next to that foreign looking coin or whatever I found, I just dug out of that hole. No ID, but it was a good signal. So I dug it anyway. I think that's a nickel. Probably maybe a buffalo. Might be hard to tell till we can. Well, actually, I think that's a penny. Yeah, that's a penny. I can see the copper on it. We'll have to chip that off later. Might be a wheat. Doubt it's an Indian head. So, all right. So 2 coins are right in a row. The other coin was right there. So I'll look around here a little more. All right, I uncovered. Well, I covered that hole back in. Was still getting a signal. Thought maybe it was the, the disturbed sand, like I've seen with other detectors, and dug down deeper and got a signal out here in the pile now that's reading in the 80s. I have to pinpoint that a little better. Maybe it's right there. Pinpointer's kind of acting up. See if I can. Oh yeah, I guess I gotta turn the pinpointer off first for that to work. All right, here we go. Alright, well, so it was right there someplace. There it is. Alright, so another coin. Probably a penny. Could be in the 80s. It's most likely a penny, so that's probably going to be a wheat. I'll show all these at the end. I'm going to have to get that crud off of them. They get pretty caked with salt around here. But I'm telling you what, so far, real happy with the Deus 2 out here at the Great Salt Lake. I mean, I usually only dig holes that deep with a pulse machine. And it's clearly deeper than the Equinox in my experience, and I've used the Equinox a lot out here. So, really happy with it. Running beach sensitive right now, and it's quiet. You know, I'm not getting IDs on all these. This coin didn't give me an ID, but I knew there was something down there, so I'm gonna dig it. So anyway, back if I find anything else. All right, got another signal in this general area of these other coins I've been finding. Coming in the 70s, so probably gonna end up being a penny or something like that. But let me get some dirt out and I'll be right back. Well, some sand, not dirt. All right, I've got some sand out and still getting a signal. And just to show you how deep I am, pretty much shovel depth on a shovel blade's about 12 inches, so probably going to be in that scoop right there. Well, I've got to get the shovel out of the way. Well, still in the hole. It's gotten deeper though. It's barely get it, so it's probably going to be in this one for sure. Yep, I'm still in the 70s. Might not be a penny. Be cool if it was a gold ring. It's right there. That's a bullet. Boy, that was deep though. Can't believe that thing was picking it up that deep. Pretty impressive. All right, another deep signal, easily 12 inches. I got my headphones on, so you're not gonna be able to hear this, but this looks like this is gonna be a key. Yep. Now that looks like an old locker key. That is, well, no. The old locker keys usually don't have that many teeth. Got an old key deep, so on to the next. Alright, so just got another coin up here. That one, probably a penny. So, hopefully they're all Wheaties, maybe an Indian or two. Place is pretty old here, so doing good. I'll see what else I can find. Alright, I've got another signal here that's coming in at the 50s and 40s. I'll dig that out, see what we got here. Alright, got the signal here in the pile now. Still in the 50s when it came out. Right there, it's a coin. Most likely a nickel. So probably a buffalo or maybe a V, but like I said, I'll show these all at the end when I get them cleaned up. That was pinpointer deep, so 9 to 10 inches. Alright, got a signal here out of that hole that all about sounded like it was on the surface, but reading 81, got it out of the hole, and it's still reading in the high 70s, 80s. Could be a bullet, but So it is, oh, it's a swim buckle. One of those old rubber swim caps. So it's brass. Alright, been a minute since I've come across anything, but this one came out of a fairly deep hole there, and couldn't even get an ID on the screen. All I could get was an audio. Now that it's out, it's at 76, so looks like it's a buckle of some sort. Another brass buckle. So I would have gone to like a swim, maybe a boy's swimsuit or a cap, something like that. Another fairly deep signal, no ID, probably pushing 10 inches. Now that's out of the hole, it's 88. Right there. Looks like it's a coin, probably a penny. Old copper penny. Yeah, most likely, and I'll have to chip the salt crust off of that to see what it actually is. Might even be a dime. We'll have to see later. Alright, this signal was 64 in the hole. Might be a nickel. And I think I'm going to be getting out of here in a second because it is starting to rain. Where did it go? There we go, right there. Not sure what that is. Probably a Utah State tax token from the looks of it. A little aluminum token of some sort. So, yeah, starting to rain. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here. Yeah, but we'll see. Alright. That deep hole there, I was thinking, God, this can't be anything good. Finally got it out. It's just a pair of these old glasses. They still have the lenses in them. Wow. Old wire behind the ear things and everything. Pretty neat. Let's get those cleaned up and show a picture at the end. Those are old. Alright, here's a really weak coming in. Occasionally get an 85, 86. Anyway, dig that up, see what we got. Okay, got it out. Now it's turned into a 76. So it might end up being a bullet. And no, it's probably another tax token. Pretty small and aluminum. Not heavy at all. So I'll have to clean that up later. See what it is. Alright, get a signal here. It's coming up in the 80s. Get the ID to come up. There we go, 91, 86. So probably end up being some silver or something. Get it hole opened up, be right back. Alright, got it out of the hole. Now it's reading 92. It's right there. So that's most likely going to be a dime. Of course it's crusted with salt and crap, but I have to chip it off when I get home. I'll have to see what that ends up being. Alright, here's the last target before I leave. I'm out here about 3 hours. Probably end up being a bullet because it's only reading in the high 70s, but fairly deep target. Oh, it's actually a, I don't know, piece of lead probably. Yeah, I don't think that's a coin, not round enough. So anyway, that'll wrap it up. I'll show you what I found when I get it all cleaned up at home. But been a good 3 hours and very impressed with the DS2 out here beach hunting. I ran beach sensitive most of the time and did fairly well. Had to change the sensitivity a little bit in places and the salt sensitive setting, but other than that, I mean, it ran nice and I was very impressed with the depth I got. So stay tuned, I'll show you what I found. Alright, so here's what I ended up with. There's the old pair of glasses. Kind of neat. But a couple of Utah State tax tokens, some buckles for some swim hats. These are all wheat pennies. I can see the 1 cent on the back of all of them. The dime was a 56. The nickel was a 61, I believe. And then this is a arcade token. It just says good for 1 free play and has a W in the middle. So not a bad little day with the Deus. First time out at the beach. Pretty happy with it. So see you next time.